Welcome to Real Appreciation, the podcast where we dig into the art, the artist, the grind, and the spark that keeps it all alive. I'm one half of your host, David Claire Bennett.
And I'm Elizabeth Darnell.
And today we're joined by a legendary actor, author, and teacher, Josh Pais himself. Someone whose work you've seen on the screen and whose approach to creativity is as fearless as it gets.
Josh played the original Raphael in the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle classic.
And he's also been in films like Scream 3. Yes, we love Scream 3, do we not, Maria?
We sure do.
Oh my god. Anyways, he's in movies like Scream 3 as well as Joker. And now Josh is here on Real Appreciation, and he's here to talk about his brand new book, Lose Your Mind, The Path to Creative Invincibility, which hits shelves everywhere September 30th. And in this episode, we talk about breaking past the noise, staying inventive, and why losing your mind might actually be the smartest move you make. Right here, all this and more on Real Appreciation.
You were the original Raphael in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in 1990.
It's just unbelievable. It touched so many people's childhood.
In Scream 3, you played Detective Wallace.
It took me a day to be like, okay, I'm a character. This is real. As we were filming, Wes didn't know who the killer was.
In this book, you talk about creative invincibility.
Creative invincibility is being able to do your best work. Cowabunga!
Welcome to Real Appreciation, the podcast where we explore the people behind the projects and the gratitude that powers them. I am David Claire Bennett.
And I'm Maria Elizabeth Darnell.
And today we've got a guest whose career is as wild as it is unstoppable. You know him as the original Raphael in the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which, by the way, just hit its 35th anniversary, so happy Anna.
But that's only the start. He has racked up over 100 film and TV credits, from Joker to Law & Order, The Dropout, and of course, one of our personal favorites, Scream. The list is endless.
Yes, but beyond the screen, he's an in-demand speaker and the creator of Committed Impulse, a training that's helped actors and creatives like us tap into real presence and performance. And now he's out with a brand new book, Lose Your Mind, The Path to Creative Invincibility. So please, without further ado, welcome to the show, the one, the only, Josh Pais.
Hey, great intro.
You were the original Raphael in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in 1990, and 35 years later, how does that sit with you?
I mean, it's wild that it got re-released, in 1,000 theaters across the United States. I mean, it's just unbelievable that it keeps expanding. And I think it touched so many people's childhood. I've had so many people come up to me and they say, I had a really rough childhood. My parents got divorced, or there was like trauma in the home, and that this movie somehow gave them some kind of strength or some kind of courage to keep going, amidst the adversity that they were experiencing.
If Raphael could look at your life now, 100 plus credits, teacher, author, what would he say?
Cowabunga. No, I don't know. That's a great question. Raphael would be like, all right, dude. Yeah, that was all right. I like it.
You played everything from a Ninja Turtle to lawyers, and even got to be a part of the popular Joker movie. Speaking of Joker, how was it being on such a set and getting to work alongside an Oscar winner like Joaquin Phoenix?
It was one of the most concentrated sets. Probably it was the most concentrated set that I've ever been on. Typically, as you'll film, a part of a scene or a full scene, and then there's a cut, and then the crew is like, there's chaos, resetting things, the crew's eating sandwiches, and about sometimes 15-20 minutes will go between setups, and and it's like, what is happening? Why aren't we just going on to the next? But on that, it was like we would, film a take of the scene, there'd be a cut, everybody was silent, doing exactly what they needed to do, and then we were back in. And it was because Joaquin was so in it that it just brought everybody's A game, and there was nothing extraneous, there was no chaos, and it was just an incredibly focused set. And working with him, each take that we did was different. He brought something different. I brought something different. And I love that. I love when each take that's Kuma. Um, I love when each take has a different flavor, a different chemistry, because in each moment, that scene, that take has never happened before. And it's so wonderful playing with an actor that is in each take is a new dance. And so it was an amazing experience.
So Josh, I want to dig into your new book, Lose Your Mind. That title alone grabbed me right away when I first saw it. And most people are actually trying to keep their minds. So from your perspective, Josh, why are you telling us to lose it?
I mean, lose your mind, it can sound like, you're going crazy. But when you lose your mind, which is really stepping out of the constant chatter that all of our minds produce, it gives us access to our aliveness, to our creativity, and to our presence. And typically, no, I've been doing this work for over 30 years. Every single person that I've played with this committed impulse work, every single person says, my mind is the worst. I have the worst chatter and the meanest mind. It's the most debilitating mind. But we just need to recognize that everybody, when we listen to our mind, I'm not talking about inspirational ideas, but I'm talking about the chatter. It's rarely kind. And if it is kind, it's just to lure you in and then tell you that you suck. And so I've developed 4 access points, which is laid out in the book, that 100% of the time will pull you out of listening to this, and it opens up a whole other world beyond listening to, like, I did that wrong. Why did they say that? I don't like them. Am I doing good? I'm better than them. I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too skinny, I'm too fat, I'm too well. Why don't I? It's just like, it's chaos, and we don't have to listen to it. And so that's what, losing your mind is about.
So in this book, you talk about creative invincibility. That sounds huge, but what does it actually look like for someone sitting down, staring at a blank page, or freezing up before a presentation, for example?
Creative invincibility is being able to do your best work or handle whatever. It can be a date, it can be a creative project, to do your best work regardless of what you're feeling and regardless of the chatter in your head. And there's actually an interesting relationship between what you're feeling and the chatter in your head, because we have all bought into this notion that there are good sensations and bad sensations. And from my point of view, that's a fallacy. It's built into our DNA to experience all the sensations that we experience. And the game is not to manage ourselves, manage what we're feeling. The game is to increase our tolerance for our full range of sensations. If we manage ourselves, like if we feel some fear and we do, a breathing technique or some way to manage it, what we're signaling to our nervous system and our body is, I don't want to feel you. And as soon as you put that signal in, suppress that sensation, our attention has to go somewhere, and then it goes into our mind and it tells us that we suck. So if you can increase your tolerance for whatever you're feeling, then you can stay present, then you can create. Then, for an actor being on set, it's like, yeah, I feel this nervousness, but that can be creative fuel as opposed to something to manage and then you're judging yourself.
Absolutely. And like Josh has been talking about, creative invincibility is truly about knowing when it is okay to lose your mind and when to keep it, which is exactly what his new book, Lose Your Mind, The Path to Creative Invincibility, releasing everywhere September 30th, talks about. But Josh, before we head out of here, we would be heartbroken as horror movie fans if we didn't talk about our love for the Scream movies.
We love Scream so much.
Yes, and in Scream 3, you played Detective Wallace, so talk to us about your time working with names like Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox.
How that movie came about is I did a movie right before that called Music of the Heart that Wes Craven directed. And that was his like passion project. It was I played opposite Meryl Streep, and it was just like this beautiful, heartfelt movie. And then as soon as we were wrapping that, he said, "I want you to be in Scream 3." And I was like, awesome. And it was, also being a fan of the Scream franchise, like the first couple days, it was just bizarre. It was like, you know, I was like in the Scream world with all of these actors who, it took me a day to be like, okay, I'm a character. This is real. Do you know what I mean? And everybody was just it's the most playful set. Everybody was just like, even though it was a scary movie, it was like the amount of fun we all had was just insane. Everybody, yeah, it was just like, it was a fantastic experience. As we were filming, Wes didn't know exactly who the killer was or how it was going to unfold. And so we would have these meetings, um, before certain days of filming and going like, could it be this? Could it be that? Do we want to lead the audience here, lead them there? And he literally didn't know the ending. And so that also kept all of us on our toes.
We as screenwriters and actors value our creativity and mental health so very much so that every day when we wake and before we go to bed, we make sure to say 3 things that we're grateful for.
So with that being said, what are 3 things that you're grateful for in your life right now?
I'm grateful that in a very organic way that this book, that I was asked to write this book. Somewhere in my mind, I was like, one day I'll write a book. And through various courses of event, Penguin Random House and Hay House came to me and, asked me to write this book. So I'm so grateful that I get to express this work out into the world. I'm so grateful that I get to swim in the ocean just about every day. And I'm so grateful for my girlfriend and my friends, and just like we just play and just are silly and it's joyous. And yeah.
Thank you so much for being a part of Real Appreciation today.
My pleasure. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. Remember, everybody, Lose Your Mind, The Path to Creative Invincibility hits shelves and Amazon everywhere September 30th.
Yes, get it.
Protect your mental health, everybody. You are also very important and loved. And thank you so much for your time today, Josh.
We appreciate you so much. We're excited to read the book and see what's next in the life of Josh Pais. Until the next episode, I am David Claire Bennett.
And I'm Maria Elizabeth Darnell.
And he's Josh Pais. And you've been watching and or listening to Real Appreciation. Make sure to like and subscribe for more exclusive sit-down interviews just like this.
That's a wrap for this episode of Real Appreciation.
We just want to give another huge thanks to Josh Pais for sharing his time and his brain with us today.
What an amazing brain he has. What an amazing brain Maria has. That's debatable.
And
I'm
you-
just kidding.
hey!
Whoa. Okay, sorry, a little too real. Anyways, grab Lose Your Mind, The Path to Creative Invincibility wherever you get your books. It is out. When is it out, Maria?
September 30th.
September 30th, everywhere. Follow the show, leave a review, and keep the conversation going. I am David Clerban.
And I'm Maria Elizabeth Darnell.
Thank you all for listening or watching Real Appreciation. Until the next episode, protect your mental health because you absolutely matter. Much love.